Red, and welcome to a new series of videos regarding the Flying Colors. We are on the road for the deluxe, well, the third printing of the game, and there will be a deluxe version being released, which will include the expansion Ships of the Line. So we are going to pick up the game, and you can see more details and even buy into the P500 program. The game is at the moment in the printing shop, so you still have time to acquire it at a substantially discounted price, so go there. But we will be playing Flying Colors in Vassal. Still don't have because I bought the Blue Cross White Ensign, and it's on the way from Second Chance Games, so thank you Second Chance Games for having it on stock, and I couldn't find it anywhere else, and I searched my usual shops and even went to UGG and couldn't find it, but Second Chance Games had it, so that's another good option for gamers living in Europe. So what are we going to play with Flying Colors today? It's going to be a solo introduction to the system, and we're going to play Cape Ortugal because it pits the Royal Navy against the French and it's three Royal Navy ships against 4 French ships. So we're going through the introduction, the steps, step by step of a turn. Given we don't have that many ships in this scenario, it's not extraordinarily hard, especially regarding the assignment of commands and formations, but it's easier to explain and see how the turn performs. So let's go through it. So as we see here, we have all the counters. Okay, and we can go through each one of them. I mean, not all counters, but basically. Let's check, for example, this one. Okay, we have the ones that have the paintings, the figures are the officers, the named admirals, named captains, named commanders assigned to a fleet, commodores, for example, as well. So in a battle like Trafalgar, it would be a lot of them, and they all have rank value. For example, Strachan is 3, and this only pertains to be used when there's more than one and there's no assignment. For example, if you want to design your own battles, if you put 2 or more officers and they go for seniority, if the scenario doesn't designate the fleet commander. So a 3 would overrank a 2. The 6 is the range. They can it's their command range, and 2 is their ability, pretty much. Same as with Dumanoir there. Okay, the ships is easy. It's the name. Here we have HMS Caesar. The M is regarding the melee and basically their boarding power. The rulebook calls them Marines value, Okay, it's acceptable. The number 2 there is their in-game relative rate. So in this case, in the game is considered a ship of the line second rate, and this is the hull value. Regarding these numbers here is the historical rating and amount of firepower. So in this case we have a ship of the line third rate 80 guns. For example, in the French here, if we go for the Formidable, we have a ship of the line third rate 80 guns, but in the game he is considered a ship of the line first rate deprecated, which is this black circle, and the white circles is upgraded, not deprecated. Okay, regarding that age there is that the Formidable starts this scenario with already 6 hull hits. So what we can do now is read the Cape Ortugal scenario snippet that comes in the Flying Colors playbook. In this case is version 2. Okay, Cape Ortugal, November the 4th, 1805. French Admiral Dumanoir limps away with vessels damaged at Trafalgar. A British scout ship detects the damaged squadron, and Admiral Richard Strachan, with part of his scattered force, sets out in pursuit under full sail. Strachan catches up to Dumanoir east of Cape Ortugal. Dumanoir, seeing no alternative, turns to fight. This scenario has 12 turns. The British have 3 audacity points, the French have 1 audacity points. What this means that the British are more willing to fight than the French, and this can prove invaluable regarding gaining the initiative in the turn. There's no other specifics except that the wind starts in wind direction 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that it uses map A, which is pretty much just open sea. There's nothing. The Dumanoir is in the Formidable, Strachan is on the HMS Caesar, and the Formidable begins the scenario with 6 hull hits. Alright, so before we begin we must decide regarding the command, and the way command works is in 2 ways, and it must be defined by each of the sides. So you might want to play with your friends, like 3 aside or 2 aside, and let's say each one of the sides must decide their commands, and commands work 3 ways. You can have a group command, which is all the ships in range of the commander. So all ships that are within the command range of a commander may be part of that individual command. Okay. In this case would be, if it's a 6 range, would be the Duguay-Trouin and the Mont Blanc, because 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doesn't reach the Scipion. That's one group that we could assign, like this would be one group, and the Scipion would be out of command ship. There's another type of command which is the formation command, and the formation command is very specific and has no amount of ships, there's no limit. So in this case, even if we are outside of the command range of Dumanoir, we can consider all 4 ships in a formation command. Formation command means that each ship in the formation must be within 4 axes, 4 squares of another ship in the same formation. No enemy vessel may occupy any of the axes, so if the line was broken, the formation was broken. All the ships in the formation must be facing in the same direction, and one of the ship in the formation must include a commander. and given we fulfill all the prerequisites, we will consider all 4 ships in a formation command. Means they can all move in the same activation. Regarding the Brits, exactly the same. We have an entire formation command. We could, however, decide that the hero and the Caesar would be one group command and leave the courageux as an out of command ship, and he would act on his own as his captain, his master and commander once. But in this case we will use formation command. So here we are. Regarding where the ships are, this, and you can see that the axes are numbered. It comes in the playbook in the exact position of the ships. Given this map is open water, it wouldn't really mean much, except like let's put the manoir there. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pretty much they are 700 meters apart. Each square is roughly 100 meters. So, and now it's turn 1, so we don't roll for the wind. We start with the wind in this position, and we will roll. And vassal, this model is really good, really well done. I like it because I don't really need to watch any of the log, and the symbols of the dice will show exactly the number that was rolled. On another note, there's a mistake on this specific scenario, because the playbook says that the Brits have Audacity 3 and the French have Audacity 1, but it shows me a 0, but we won't really pay attention to that here. So let's go for the first turn and roll for initiative. So the French rolled a 2. By the way, these are 10-sided die, and the 0 means a 0, not a 10. So basically you will roll from 0 to 9. Okay, to determine the initiative, each of the sides rolls a die and determine initiative, and we add the command quality of each to the roll. So the French rolled a 2 plus a 2 for Dumanoir, it's a 4. The British rolled a 1 plus 2 from Strachan is a 3. So the French win the initiative. Now the French could decide, yeah, we don't really want to go right now, so they pass the initiative to the British, but for the sake of solo play we will. And I took this idea from another YouTube channel, GMT Gamer, when he presented Blue Cross White Ensign playthrough, and he also did this. There's no passing the initiative. What you roll is what you will play. So in this case we're gonna play the French first. We can move the wind, so we have an idea. So in this case, the attitude towards the wind, the ship is reaching, so means he has 5 movement points, so each square will count as 1, so I could move 5 squares. But the French will want to go close to the Brits, so, and activation means that the ship can move and fire as it does so. At the same time, the enemy can enact defensive fire like it would be an interrupt action as he fires onto the enemy. In this case we are still so far apart, there's no It's still too far away for proper. The French might try to go for rigging, and I will try to use the doctrines of the day. But let's see how it goes. So first I will activate the entire formation command, so it will be the 4 ships in order. So Duc White will move one first, and then he will do a wear from reaching to beating, which is in this case a starboard turn, which will cost me 2 movement points. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that one is moved. The English side decided it doesn't want to interrupt anything, and now we will move the Formidable. Okay, the Formidable will do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll because I need to move 5, but 1 I can put the sails aback, so I go slower and I can spend 1 movement point without moving. So I spend that right away because I was 4 movement points, and now I count that as a 5, and I stop there. The British decide they don't want to fire, the French decide they don't want to fire. I could fire at any point during the movement. In this case, I will move the Mont Blanc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will move the entire distance because the French want to keep a compact formation there, as the Brits will come so they can focus fire. Same will happen with the Scipion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, all the French activated for turn 1. Now it's the Brits. So the British they have the wind, and they will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they have the wind. They don't see any need to... They will want to get closer, but not yet. So Strachan is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far so good. No one wanted to fire, and I must declare the firings before I go to the next one. But the hero doesn't want to fire as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The French didn't want to interrupt anything, and the Brits don't want to fire. And as you can see, let's see, for example, if I would want to fire with the starboard, this would be my angle. The Duc White could have interrupted Caesar as he moved up, as long as he had spent 1 movement point, and he could at any point also fire at the hero, but it's still so far away that there is no still too far away. Now before we would go for the turn, and we go turn 2. Although we will not play it thoroughly, we will see what happens at the start of the turn. So first thing would be to roll for the wind. In this case, the French won the initiative, so I will determine that the Brits will roll for the wind. So they roll the 3. Oh, sorry, it was not that. This. Wind adjustment, exactly. So at the start of each turn except the first one, we roll a die. It was a 3, and as you see, 0 to 5, there's no change in the wind. And now, before any activations, initiative or whatever, both sides, the French and the British, must decide their commands. And as we see, the French now they can decide that this is a command, these 3 ships, because they are in range of the manoir. 5, 6, actually they all are, because you count 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but let's suppose that the Scipion was away. I could decide these 3 ships in the vanguard would be on command and the Scipion would be out of command, or I could decide that the Formidable, the Mont Blanc and the Scipion would be a formation command, because they have the prerequisites of all being facing the same direction, being within 4 squares at least of each other, and the Duke White Round would be out of command. In this case, all ships confirm the prerequisite of being in command control, because they are in range of 6. Regarding the Brits, they are in formation command, so round 2 will second turn will be exactly the same command structure as we saw in turn 1. So see you in turn 2.